Hello everyone and welcome back to AWS Simplified. Today I'm going to be doing a video on when to use SNS or SQS. I find that there's many videos out there that attempt to answer this question, but don't really give you a concrete example of when you should use one or the other. So the first thing I'm going to do is go over some technical details and then give you a practical example of when you want to use SNS or SQS. So quickly, let's go over the technical comparison between SNS and SQS. So SNS stands for Simple Notification Service, while SQS stands for Simple Queue Service. So SNS uses a publisher-subscriber system. So you may own a topic and you publish to that topic, and subscribers get notified of events that are delivered to that topic. That's starkly different to SQS, whereas it's a queuing service for message processing. So in this example, an SQS could be a subscriber to an SNS. So whenever someone publishes a message to an SNS, your SQS queue can get a message in it that can be processed at a later time. So for the SNS, kind of as I was alluding to before, publishing a message to a topic can deliver to many subscribers. So it's a fan-out approach. And those subscribers can be of different types. So you can have SQS as a subscriber, a Lambda function, or even an email. Now moving back to SQS, it's a system that must poll the queue to discover new events. So whenever an event is delivered to the queue, there's nothing that's going to get invoked. There's no system that's automatically going to become aware of it. You need to have some separate thread that's polling the queue to discover when new events get delivered and have a mechanism to actually process it and then delete the message from the queue. So continuing on that, messages in the queue are typically processed by a single consumer or a single service with a very narrow responsibility. And different services, if they both care about the same events, they can have their own separate queues. So you can see that there's a pretty stark difference from the technical perspective of what these things do. If you're still confused, I think there's a very simple question or two simple questions that you can ask yourself to figure out if you want to use SNS or SQS. So the first one is, do other systems care about an event? So if something happens and an event occurs in the world, do other people care about it? And if the answer is yes, you should use SNS because you want to publish a message to your topic and potentially tell other people that that thing happened. And for SQS, does your system care about an event? So do you care specifically when something has happened? So you are the receiver of this data. And if this is true, then SQS is the right choice for you. So this is a quick little summary of what these two things do and the key differences between them. So let's talk about a practical example now of when you would use one or the other. So in this example, we're going to be talking about credit card transactions. It's a very common theme in many of my videos. So let's assume that we have a user here and they are making a purchase, maybe on some website or through some POS terminal, and putting in their credentials to buy some kind of product. Now, they're making a purchase request to some kind of REST API, and we're just calling this a transaction processing web service. And the payload of what gets passed into this web service, maybe it looks something like this. So we have a transaction ID, some number, a customer ID, maybe their contact details, and the amount that was charged to the customer. So from a processing perspective, if you get a request containing this kind of event, the first thing you need to do is communicate with some kind of credit card authority service. Practically speaking, probably Visa, MasterCard, Amex, all of these credit card authority services. So when an event occurs saying that someone is attempting to purchase something, you need to validate that against the authority service. So the first thing you do is you probably call that service and say, here's the customer ID. Maybe they passed in some credentials, including their PIN or something like that. And that gets validated against the authority service. And in this example, let's just assume that they return 200 OK, right? So the transaction is good, the credentials are good, this thing went through. Now in this e-commerce example, this is an event that matters, right? Because someone attempted to purchase something and it went through, so it was successful. And this is something that is potentially relevant to many different subsystems that exist in your e-commerce ecosystem. So maybe we want to publish this event, so exactly what we see here, to this transaction SNS topic, right? So you're basically telling the world, you're publishing an event to this topic. And from this topic, there can be multiple different subscribers with all narrow use cases. So in this example, I have three different ones. I have a Lambda here and I have two SQS queues. And I'm going to fill this out so it'll make more sense why we have three different ones. Now let's go through these one by one. So in the first case, when a message gets delivered, maybe we have some kind of customer reminder service. And if you've ever ordered anything online, maybe on Amazon or any kind of website, you know that when you order something, shortly after you get an email that says, hey, thank you for ordering. We really appreciate your business. Here's a summary and here's the address that it's going to. Something to this effect. So this component is potentially responsible for that very narrow concern. So after this event occurs, a message gets delivered with this payload to your Lambda function. In this Lambda function, maybe it queries some database somewhere for some additional details, but in the end, it's going to send an email to your customer that says, thank you for ordering. We appreciate your business. Okay, so that's one use case, right? Now, completely separately, there's two other subsystems here that care about this same event, but they do very different things. So we don't want to mix or conflate the responsibilities of these different things. We want to have a separate system that allows us to process these events in parallel and completely independent of one another. So maybe this second system here with a queue, it's some kind of analytics engine. So when an event occurs, in addition to publishing to this Lambda function, we're publishing that same event to some analytics queue. Okay, and this system, maybe one of its responsibilities is it cares about how many orders are generated in a single day. Maybe you want to show that on some dashboard. So when an event occurs, this payload gets delivered to this queue. And on its own, it's not going to really do anything. You need some other system here to pull the queue, to actually become aware that something is in there and respond in some sort of way. So in this example, maybe you have some kind of transaction analytics service that's hosted on EC2. And part of spinning up your service, you have a series of pollers that know to pull messages off of this queue. And when they find one, maybe they put something in a database somewhere, increment some values. But at the end of the day, their job is to output something that says something like orders today, some number, and the total amount of revenue is this. Okay, so this is a very different concern than what we were doing up here. This is kind of an analytics perspective, and whereas this is a customer use case, right? Now for the other queue, maybe there's a separate use case, right? So maybe it's a fraud detection service. So you're a bustling e-commerce company, and maybe you're concerned with fraud because certain people have ordered something and the transaction eventually got reversed, and you kind of want to have some kind of proactive approach that attempts to detect and mitigate fraud. So this is again, a very separate use case from your analytics engine and your reminder service. This thing is doing something that's completely different, but it also cares about this event and is going to use it in its own way. So similar to what we had above here, maybe we have some fraud detection service that's also based on EC2. And similar, again, we're going to poll the queue to figure out when events occur. And once we process the message, we delete that message from the queue, so no other pollers can receive it. And at the end of the day, what this system may try to do is determine, based on events and based on its own kind of internal processes, which transactions are suspicious, which should we not deliver immediately, and maybe have someone go and look into and just kind of make sure that this thing isn't a fraudulent case. So this is an example of a use case where many different consumers care about a singular event. And this is where SNS really shines, because something is being published and you are distributing that to multiple different consumers. So we saw that there's different consumer types, right? You can deliver to a Lambda function or a queue. And some of you may be asking, why would I do one or the other? So with a Lambda function, when you deliver to SNS, it's best effort delivery. So if there's a problem in your logic here, you could potentially lose this message. Whereas from SNS to SQS, if a message gets delivered to the queue, it's guaranteed to be present. So it's guaranteed to be processed by some independent service that is polling and deleting messages from the queue. So that's an example of why you would want to use SQS over Lambda. I'm just showing you multiple different examples here. So I've shown you, 4 steps here, right? So the first is credit card authority, then you do this step, then you do this step, then you do this step. So let's rewind a little bit and try to answer, why are we going through all this effort? Why are we decoupling here? And so let's think about what this world would look like if you did all these 4 things in sequence, maybe in your transaction processing web service. And let's talk about why this is a bad thing. So again, as I said, the first thing you do is you communicate with the credit card authority service and verify that this transaction is good. And then if we use this naive approach, maybe we want to write some function to send out an email, right? we attempt to use some email service and send a customer an email. And then we continue to the next one. We attempt to do some analytics on this event. And then finally, we go to the fraud detection thing. Maybe we query some database, see if it's in some kind of blacklist, and make some decision based on what to do. So why is this a bad thing? Well, it's a bad thing because you have a partial failure scenario. So if you're doing these in sequence, you do the first one, then the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one. What happens if this one fails? If this one fails, you need to repeat the whole process. And obviously you don't want to charge the customer again, right? So by decoupling these applications, you have one event that gets distributed to many different consumers, and they can all independently, in their own way, ensure that this message gets processed. And this is why we're leveraging SNS with these different subscriber endpoints. So if you like this video, I have a couple different playlists on SNS and SQS that I highly suggest. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and I'll see you next time.